Hi there, everyone. I'm Michelle.
I'm Jim, and we are
A Tea of Your Own. Welcome to another Motivational Monday.
Let's get motivated. Woohoo!
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Always a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
I know. And you know what's going to be really beautiful?
What?
When the ads stop.
Yes, which is soon.
Very soon. In case you're not aware, there's an election tomorrow.
We live in Pennsylvania, so we're very aware.
Very aware. So, for the love of all that is good, please go out there and vote so that the madness can stop.
Yes. Hopefully we get the results that night. And yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it'll be finished.
Yeah, because it's just been going on way too long.
All right. Well, enough of that. What are we talking about this week?
What are we talking about?
I don't know. I asked you first.
I don't know. So Jim Rohn, you know Jim Rohn.
I know Jim Rohn.
Jim Rohn wrote many books.
I don't know him personally, but I know who he is.
Great guy.
Yes.
One of his quotes is, "Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change." Sound good?
Makes sense to me.
Okay. So what does that mean to you?
It means that if you want your life to change, one, you got to stop doing what you've been doing. Because if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you're going to get the same results. And obviously, if you're wanting to change, the results that you're getting are not the results that you want. Okay. It also means that when you decide to make that change, it's not going to happen by chance. You are going to have to make a conscious decision that you are going to make a change. You have to be, as John Maxwell says, intentional about it. It doesn't just happen out of the blue. And so we know that from our own experiences, especially recent experiences. Yeah. Things that happened to us that did not happen by chance. That was a conscious decision, mainly on my part. Yeah. That we needed to do something, and so I did it. Yeah. And now we're actually we're in very good shape. We're in a very good position for having done it. So it's one of those things. And now I'm in a position where I'm not having to make up my mind. I've made up my mind what I want to do next with this opportunity that I have. And I've already got a team of people that are going to help me do that because they are on board with what I want to do. And it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of effort. But I am committed to it because I know that going down this path and doing what we're doing will get us to where we want to go. Right. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Literally and figuratively.
Yes. Both. Yes. Literally the location where we want to be, and figuratively the situation that we want to be in. Yes. And again, it's from a conscious decision.
Yeah. There's two parts to this particular quote. There's life doesn't get better by chance.
Nope. You're not Forrest Gump.
No.
If you watch the movie Forrest Gump, you'll realize that everything that happened to Forrest was by chance.
Yes.
When he found out that he could really run, that was by chance after the leg braces fell off and because some bullies were following him. And then later that running got him to college, where he was an All-American football player. Folks, that doesn't happen.
Not by chance.
Not by chance. No. You don't have people who they just happen to have all this talent and they get recruited and they don't even really know what's going on. And then they become football stars. Of course, if he was that big of a football star, he never would have been joining the Army, which was the next thing that he did. And that was by chance. And then on and on, becoming a part of the U.S. ping pong team by chance because of being in the Army. And then what did he do later? Running, all that running that he did across the country, becoming a celebrity for that.
The one thing that he was very intentional about was the shrimp business.
He was, and that was because of Bubba.
Yes.
But that wouldn't have happened if he hadn't met Bubba.
Correct.
But you are correct. Now, he was very intentional about that, but I don't think he was necessarily intentional about growing the business.
No.
That happened after Lieutenant Dan showed up, because Lieutenant Dan knew what he was doing.
Yeah,
Lieutenant Dan was very intentional about it. But with Forrest, it was everything just happened by circumstance. Life doesn't work that way. We don't, if it did, we'd all be a bunch of Forrest Gumps running around multimillionaires by accident. People don't become multimillionaires by accident. They plan out what they're going to do. They make up their minds. This is what they're going to do. They go after it with everything that they've got. And, if everything goes well, then they succeed. That's the other thing, though, is not everybody succeeds.
No, they don't.
Not everybody decides they're going to go do something and then they go do it.
Well, one of the things about all of this is, like I said, it's not going to get better from chance. It's going to get better through change.
Right.
There's a lot of different ways that you can change. And one of the other projects that I work on is Coffee with Two Coaches. I do that with Betty Novak. Great lady, wonderful coach. She and I have been talking about what happens if you feel this need to start over. And sometimes that happens.
Sometimes it does happen.
You get into a process and you realize this isn't going the way that I planned. And then you have several questions you can ask yourself to determine, should I continue down this path or should I stop and start over? Stopping and starting over isn't necessarily a bad thing, because you have the experience of what you just went through. You have the knowledge of what you just went through. You know what worked, you know what didn't work. And now you can start from that perspective and with that knowledge base moving forward. So starting over can be change too.
It's true.
And it's never too late to do that.
Right.
I think some people in their minds think they're too old, or they're too far along in their career, or they're too far along in a process, and they can't stop and start over. And that's not the case.
And well, I'm a prime example of that.
Yeah.
Made a big shift.
Yes, you did.
Decided that what I had been doing wasn't going to get me where I wanted to go. And I wasn't happy with it any longer. And I decided it was time to make a change and made a big shift. Now, the shift that I went into was not necessarily out of the realm of what I am qualified and capable of doing. As a matter of fact, I'm fully qualified and capable of doing what I'm doing. Including having the college degrees for it. So it wasn't a change that, would just be something where you're going, wow, that's total change. It makes no sense. It was a change that made a lot of sense. But I made that at a point that's, I think a lot of people would say that's a little late in life to be making that kind of a shift, but I didn't think so. I felt like it was a good idea.
Well, considering it's your birthday.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
And you're another year older.
That's true. And you didn't have to tell them.
And he's way past 21.
That's very true.
Way past 21.
Hey, you didn't have to go that far.
Way. However, that's the point of all of this, though. You have to be willing to take a look at what's going on and understand that if you don't like what's going on in your life right now, you can change it.
Right.
And so there is no time limit to how long you have as far as starting over, or as far as making adjustments here and there, because change doesn't have to be big. That's the other thing. Change does not have to be big. You don't have to stop and start over again. You can look at where you are now and say, all right, what are one or two small things that I could change right now that would have a big impact on what I'm doing and where I want to go? That's always a possibility. So keep that in mind. However, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting.
That's exactly right.
The only way to get something different, the only way to have different results, to be in a different position, a different place, is to do something different.
Right. And that, that doesn't necessarily mean that, again, you have to completely ditch what you're doing. And maybe you just need some different people in your life.
Yeah.
You need to take what you're doing in a different, path.
Yeah.
Try something different, take some risks, take some chances. Because especially if you're not getting the results that you want, then obviously you're not, either you've taken some chances that aren't going to pan out or haven't panned out. And maybe it's time to say, I'm going to cut my losses here. So it may be a case of, as some people would view it, you may have to take 1 or 2 steps back before you can go forward. But, that's okay. I mean, think about when you're this time of the year, they're doing all the corn mazes. And think about it, you go down a path and you realize this isn't the right way. What do? You stand there and say, oh, well, I guess I'm going to just spend the night in this corn maze here. No, you go backwards. You have to retrace your steps, and then you pick a different path. And eventually doing that, you will, hopefully find success. You'll have a better shot at it than if you just, again, decided you get to the dead end in the maze. You go, oh, well, I guess I'm just stuck here. I'll have to wait till somebody comes and rescues me. Life doesn't work that way. You got to get yourself out of the maze. And so, yes, that may entail taking 1 or 2 steps backwards so you can eventually take 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 steps forward, which is kind of the way I view what I have done. Is some people would view it as being a step backwards. I don't think it is. I think it was a step forward right out of the gate.
Yeah.
It was just, again, on a very different path.
Yep.
And the expectation is it's going to be many steps forward. In a relatively speaking, a relative short amount of time.
Yes.
Provided everything goes exactly right down the path that I expect it to, which I plan on making that happen. So
nothing ever goes exactly the way you think.
No. But I think this will go fairly close to it. So.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So what if somebody out there is listening to this and thinking, I'm definitely not where I want to be, but I don't know what to do next. Who could they talk to?
That would be us.
That would be us. And how could they talk to us?
There's a multitude of ways that you can get in touch with us. First one is our phone number. You can see it right there, 412-420-7975, even though we no longer live in Pittsburgh.
No, we don't.
But that's a Pittsburgh number.
That's the beauty of technology.
Yes.
And the age that we live in.
Yeah, you keep the same phone number
Your
no matter where you go.
Never has to change.
Yeah.
I know there's some people out there, like I am one of them. I can remember like my grandparents' phone number from when I was growing up. Now, don't ask me, what I had for dinner last night.
You had a Monte Cristo.
There you go.
I remember what you had for dinner last night.
Because, but I can remember their phone number.
Yeah, how about that?
Okay, cool.
So you can call us.
Yes.
And we will pick up the phone and have an actual conversation with words coming out of our mouths. I know that's, not in fashion these days, but that's okay. We like doing old-fashioned things like that.
Although, if you don't want to actually talk and have words coming out of your mouth, what could they do?
You can text us.
You could text
Same
us.
number.
Yes.
How crazy is that? What a wild world we live in.
I'm telling you.
Or you could send us an email. And you can see the email address right there, info@ateagueofyourown.com. Make sure you spell Teague correctly, Teague. It's like baseball league with a T instead of an L, kind of like, a league of their own. It's a Teague of your own.
Yep. Because when you work with us, you get
a Teague of your own.
There you go.
Or other ways, you can contact us through our what?
Yes.
You can contact us through our website, ateagueofyourown.com. Amazing. It's like the email address, only without the info at.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just take off that info at. Got the same thing. Again, spelled correctly, TEAGUE. You can also reach us through our social media outlets. We are on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and we have a YouTube channel. All of these videos for our Motivational Mondays are there, and you can go and peruse those. You can see what the topics are. Maybe there's something specific that you wanted to see. You can find it there. The only thing that we ask, if you go to our websites or our YouTube channel, please like and subscribe.
Yes. And there you have it.
Yeah.
All right. So your life doesn't get better by chance. It gets better by change. Go out and vote.
Yep.
And you can go on social media and wish him a happy birthday. There you go.
Thanks.
You're welcome. All right, everybody. We will see you next week.
Bye.
Everyone.